Dati ta umaran gibi lula leongi sanje
so ye jonam la janjo pato dani yasushi tagi chenji gibi sonangi lola benje sanje
sanje
Chila soge jonam la janjo pato dani yasushi tagi chenji gibi sonangi lola benje sanje
sanje
Chila soge jonam la janjo pato dani yasushi tagi chenji gibi sonangi lola benje sanje
Kasante umapala ngiyar umaran gibata tenjuba ni ati ani umaran gibe ani gachari cheru shigiyare gachari cheru.
So there are two Madhyamika schools. One is called Sautrantika School, Madhyamika School, and Prasangika Madhyamika School. So now we are at the topic of how to identify the object negation in terms of Sautrantika Madhyamika School.
Tadi kende shigiyare sena umaran gibe lula lo ongi sheju tungo she. Ani di she indu tamba lo ongi mashabe yobati gajati shule shigiyare. Tadi kas umana shunti kapsu ani lo ongi joju tungo she. Ani lo ongi mashabe yobati karire gajaraba. Tadi muas mashabe shula di she.
Long Masha Badi Gaza Chatova,
Mashabe yobati.
Masha, Long Masha Yobatika,
Mashabe yobati.
Long Shapa the shit, Long Shapa, Long Shapa never did.
Leung Shapari is shape. Mashabe, Leung Mashabe, any Mashaber. Yobati and Gajari. Mashabati Yobati Yamar Bachida.
Kazamos share
Gajimus.
So here it uses the text. It's based on text illumination of the middle way. Here it says Kamala Shila's illumination of the middle way. Right, the text. In that text, actually didn't mention about object of negation very kind of like clearly, but it mentioned how things are imputed by the mind. Okay? So then when it says how things are imputed by the mind, but the the shapa the sheva reswa, the shapa never the engaged laura. So it explains how things are imputed. That also suggests that so that also suggests that if things are not imputed by mind, that will be object of negation. Okay? Object of negation. It's clear?
If it's not imputed by the mind, that's the object.
No, yes. In the text, it explains how things are imputed. Okay? So then the opposite of that, if the things are not imputed by the mind, that will be object of negation. Okay? It didn't say that, but it indicates that.
Tadige, Mobu Yadava, Mohoni Meva, Tala Yang City, Mobu Yadava, Mohoni Meva, Yatava Yamarisi, Tala yang si di ngoba yang taba ngoni neba tala yang si temba chuba mayimba la yang si. Tele doba number 2 doba si ngoba yang taba yobara number 2 doba si ati tati. Temba chuba mayimba la temba chuba number 2 doba lo tis. Chube lo kanyimba ti kunzuk chi chatis. Dati kunzuk tenpa siyagi, lo kunzuk te siyagi. Mara yubelo, kunzuk tenpa siyagi, lo kunzuk te. Di kunzuk, tele kunzuk siyagi, tenzi le kunzuk siyagi. Kunzuk siyagi le tivji tang, tivji le chagari. Diyam di khunani thonga la tiba tabuchi, keba tabuchi. kunzuk tenpa shibe kunzuk te jibji la jiti shagiyarwa tenji tiki kare thonga la tiba chigiyarasana toni thonga la tiba chibari dekhona ni thonga la tiba chi geba tabu chis.
So, okay, now in the text. Okay, in the middle way is to be known. It's on page number 92, right? It's okay here. Okay, so do not have to. But right, the existence of that is opposite of the middle. Oh no, not this one. Okay, in the middle way to be okay. Where is to be known as ultimate or true existence. And therefore, let us know, okay, no, not this one. Okay, down there, the mistaken awareness that superposed on things which is reality or ultimately without their own entityness. Okay. An aspect opposite of that, absence of the ultimate entityness, is called concealer. Concealer, right? Kunzo. Okay, in Tibetan, I think they translate. That is actually a translation of kunzo. In this tradition, kunzo or the concealer means anyway. The denzin means self grasping, right? So self grasping is concealer, kunzo. Okay, they said self grasping is concealer, kunzo because that actually obscures, come in the middle, obscures to see the actual reality of the things. That's why it's called kunzo or the concealer.
Di kari tingri sena tenji di lo chubari je. Tenji di ku lega di kari chigri sena dekho na nila chuba chigri. Geba tabu chigri je. Geba sena chigri. Geba tabu pa dulo chigri pa yo shasuna di tungu marwa. Geba tabu chese. Na jesa ta digi tenji kurang lo chuba inba ti jikuna de. Tenji digi kari chigi yare sene di kunang ti tuwa la chuba chigiri jele ti shesuna.
And the text continues, in an artificial awareness of the continued proponents of the true existence arises from that conceptual true existence. All false things which are artificial awareness is displayed by that. Anyway, kunzo, talking about the kunzo, how kunzo defines, right? The kunzo, we call it kunzo or concealer, that actually obscures to see the things. It's like it's covering a cloth on something, so then you cannot see the object underneath the cloth, some similar like that. Okay, this is the one function or the meaning of kunzo, right? And also, when you read this text in Tibetan, when you read this text, I don't know in English. Anyway, so when you read this text, this also says that is the mistaken mind. Okay.
Datine dele chue chi de nyawar temba tun ngobu zumba tamje ni kunzu ba khona yis. 디 녀르 템베 응어부 좀바 탐제니 군주가 권한 이해서야지 다디 녀와 템베 응어부 좀바데 가르샤스는 수다 좋아라 소부투수 덴지디기 녀르 통해 덴지디기 녀르 통해 응어부 좀바지야지 문도 군주 템바시베 군주디 군주 템바시베 템바티 가르샤스는 수속이 최되게 시작이인바 이 군주 템바리 준다 템바 말이체베인바 너 덴지디 녀월 통화 때문에 뭐 좀바 탐제네
공부할 수 있는 시기 왜 하네.
좀 공부를 했어요.
왜? 이게 되면도 그래. 이거는 겨우 군수도 조사로
다음에 좀
도주를 TMT 보면 집어 더블치 뜻이 개가 더블치
저 군주도 담배 좀 심해를 추가가 되니까 군주 되서잖아. 어때 되셔도.
어디서 들려야 된다.
단 돌려셔야 돼. 뭐는 저 군주도 뭐보남 아니 규제를 깨워디 군주도 깨버리스. 된담도 라시게 두가야 말이스. 된담을 깨워야 말이스. 군주도 깨버리스. 라시면을 추바가 디네 양다 군주도 다나 군주도 뭐보남 깨워디 군주도 이제 담배도 라시게 된 담배를 두야 말이스 그래봐. 때문에는 라시게 두가 ನಂ게 두가스 수수 군주비 최도서 라시게 두가 ನಂ게 두가 라시게 맞으나 아니 라시게 두가 되나와데 가르쳐 버렸어 그래. 이 라시 메라 두가 같은 양다 군주 테스트 덴지게 온기 물로 두가 덴지게 온기 나셔 버렸어. 전에 템바투가 말이스 그래. 연담도 주가 내나 그때부터 연담도 마주바이나 아니 연담도 주가 남게 또 가스나 일로 주변 게 나와서 미시 연담도 마주가 말이스 다들 도디.
And then it continues in sutra also says it's a sutra that descent into Lanka sutra also said right things are produced conventionally. Ultimately, they are without inherent existence. That which is mistaken about the lack of inherent existence is serves as the concealer of reality. Yeah. Okay, the Wanam Kewa Kunsuktu in Tibetan. Wanam means all the produced things. Okay? Produced things refers to like seed and the sprout and so on. Okay, refers to that kind of thing, right? Things. So, Kewa Kunzu means they arise in conventionally. Okay, they arise in conventionally, all the produced things. Tambe Tundu means in reality they do not have self-nature. Rangshime, self-nature. Okay. So then there's a Rangshime Rangshime, then there's a question arises. If they don't have the Rangshime, self-existence, if they are not self-existent, then how come they arise? How come they kind of grow, sort of like, how come they arise? So then this second two line comes. Rangshime Trubaka means they are not self-existent, but because of our mistaken mind, okay, on the mistaken mind, to the mistaken mind, sort of like, then they arise. This is they arise. Yeah, that's why it called these things are conventional truth.
Dini yanda kundu desi dini denji dini yanda ke den thong ala jebar yesane ni yanda kundu siyares.
So that's why they call it the here in this text it says concealer, right? Concealer. Kunzok means like obscure something. So because of that mistaken mind, that obscures, because of this self-grasping thoughts, obscures to see the actual quality of the things.
Adati 셰중아 이게 아니 가르스 그래 덴지기 제레다 아니 덴지기 집에 군주들의 제빈바 덴지기 제레티 셰중아
So actually,
되게 단대 치디게 원하는 교회인데 세야티 단대티 도디기 되는데 지내 시에는 거야. 저 엄마나와게. 이게 가르쳐서는 덴지기 제레티 셰중아 덴지티 그 제버터지 개버터지 제야티 디니 군주 양다 군주 되세야티 양다베 되는 통화라 제버터지 개버터지 세야 우메 나와시도가 되게 뒤된데 시에야 봐. 되게 덴지 되게 제레티 시에도가 이 로 출발이지. 출발전에 아니 그 가르치기에서는 양다베 되는 통화라 개버터지 제레티 시에서만 도디다 엄마나와게 단데 치디
so they hear both texts from Kamala Shila's illumination of the middle way and the descent into the Lanka Sutra. The explanation go side by side, so they go along together. So both of them are saying actually the Lanka, the illumination of the middle way. So this is more like the commentary or the explanation of the sutra text, something like that. So they go along together. So then, both of them are saying that the conventional truth or the concealer is, there are two qualities. There are two functions, sort of like two functions. They operate in two different ways, sort of like. So the two functions are, one thing it does, it obscures the things, okay, and that obscures the things. Then one is that is mistaken mind. These are the two, kind of quality of that the conventional truth. Concealer, concealer.
Dele juechi di nyorte batunes ngobu zumba se di karachigrisena dinji dele juechi dinji di nyorte batune ngobu ani susu bichu da sigere di nyorte ngobu zumba tamjeni kunzu kona yinse kunzu kona yinse kunzu tembase dembe susu kunzu maris kunzu to yiba kona res digo kona dige dinji yimba chebare kunzu dinji yimba tije jesa ta dande dige dele jume chi de nyoten ba tuen mo gun zumba de karesha sine susu gu chue dige shawo susu chue de dige di dinji di nyorten ba thwa de dinji di lebe onge ni susu chue de temba tu ba na ai di lebe onge jesa dige de lebe onge na ya gi susu gu chue de da kunzu res kunzu temba shibe kunzu temba dire ni shoji kunzu denji ti mari si denji ngo yiba te che da ngobo nam kunzu to tamje ni kunzu ba khona yino shi kunzu ba khona yin se ate ani kunzu denji yiba te che
kunzu denzi in bache so sukso la so denzi in bache la wa
ni de ba
yes
di chisu kunzu di maris ke kunzu temba shi be chisu kunzu di maris
mari on de maro
o di denzi sha bin ba di maris je ni ya kunzu di yo si ke
so now
yes
let's look at the text. Since an artificial awareness of the continuum of the proponent of the true existence arises from that, conception of the true existence, the false things which, such as artificial awareness, is displayed by that conceptual true existence, to establish is called merely conventionalities. Anyway, so let's just try this. So daily in Tibetan says daily chungwe, right? Daily chungwe, it came from that. That refers to the mistaken mind. Okay, mistaken mind. So then the mistaken mind, daily nyawa chungwe tempa tonga. So then when the mistaken mind sees object, things, right? That object and things are the zumba, or fake or artificial. Okay, artificial. And tamjin, all these artificial are, he says kona, means that they are only what's the
kunzup zamre.
Kunzup zamre, so.
Denji kunzup.
Right.
Kunzup tenpa shibe chi subi kunzup dimari.
They are only because of that there appears to even may make it a little clear, there appears to a mistaken mind, right? That's what they call it. These are artificial of all things. For instance, it includes vase and sprouts and seeds and all things, right? They are artificial. They're only, say here's a conventional, or kunzop means a concealer, only artificial. Yeah. So then kunzop in Tibetan, kunzop we use in like kunzop dempa, like it was a conventional truth. So that kunzop, right? Seeing all things like from a mistaken mind, that kunzop is not referred. That kunzop or conventional is not refers to the kunzop that you see in conventional truth or kunzop dempa. Okay, so that kunzop dempa or conventional truth, that kunzop refers to there's something that refers to, and another word that refers to the self-grasping. Okay.
Kunzup tenpa di.
Yeah. Self-grasping.
Susubi chue di. Kunzup tenpa shibe chi subi tenpa di.
That's not.
Denji ngor tenpa zamre ni shu. Yonle tenpa mare se.
So then all these objects to the mistaken mind, we call them conventional truth because they are truth. They are true or real to the mistaken mind. Okay. So then the conventional truth is a conventional truth. That the part of that conventionality or the in Tibetan gunzo, that is not actually that refers to self-grasping. Okay.
Na tang ju kunzup tenpa se chi, tendam tenpa singi si duga. Kunzup tenpa shibe kunzup di tenji di isha. Di ngor tenya di susubi chue tige di kunzup tenpa shi, tenji di ngor tenpa zamla, ni zamre is. Ni denla tenpa mari is. Kunzup tenpa se di.
Okay, now we have two terms like conventional truth and ultimate truth, right? So the conventional truth, so conventional truth means that thing or object is true to that mind, the mistaken mind. It's true to them, it's true to that kind of mind. That's what we call conventional truth.
다드네. 대야 토마메베 주베 과자 노수 멤버 온거 줄라 딘지디 시게르다 단데 뜨데 딘지디 비케주 그 뒤부터 지게부터 되게 시야송아 다 대야 토마메베 딘지디 어느 근데스 중을에 했으나 딘지디 토마메베 주베 과자 딘지기 과자 멤버 온거 줄라레스 딘지코 딘지 링게 때문이지 이 가르쳐서 그 근데스 중을에서 토마메베 아니 주베 바자 용수님베 온거 중아리 그 가르쳐서는 토마메베네 딘지기 덴바투반 나지기 바자지 샤시르 바자디 용수님베 온게 중아리 딘지디 토마메베네 시디 만한도 기준에 나가 신들로 지야르바 그 토마메바네 라가들 두두네 나가 신들로디 기준에 야르 예산 코 덴지 행게시게 나하세야 토마메바세야 라가들네 두두네 아니 라드 윤볼라 나가 신들로디 야르 있어 어디 예산 아니 딜로 디글레스존에 chube paja ongi chus. Toma meba nesayati ku dambu di ngana tenzi lengi sayati dambu di nganju yudu zamba tenzi lengi di mebache. Paajili ani tenzi di ngasi de lo di chungari basani di maris. Ngaranzu kadu tukdu zamba ngani lo jiyarba. Di yuwa tusu kangalu tenzi lengi diri esi. Tenzi lengi di kandas chungari basani chube paja yosu mibe ungu chungari esi.
Kitanda di chube baso lo dili sigoro.
Yari denya thoma mebe sayati tenzi dirida. Denya thoma mebe tanji di tenzi di kyabat kyangya shesunga. Tenzi di dekonani thoma la tiba tabu jibari, keba tabu jibari di ani chube dusi shesunga. Na da tenzi di tenpa tuba ranzu susu tenpa tuba nawa tabu chigirisi jabarwa. Di chena ona tenzi kurang kandesi chungari esi chube paja ongi esi chun mimbe ongi chungari esi chun.
Okay, so now here in the text is more over that conceptual true existence go on, right? Before I go there, so maybe let's do this. Right now, we are talking about the mistaken mind, which is actually self-grasping thought or whatever, right? Self-grasping. We're talking about that kind of mistaken mind. We're describing that kind of mistaken mind, right? Okay. So here then continues. He continues. He says, moreover, okay, that mind is, that mind actually sees things and objects through their mistaken mind, right? That is self-grasping, keep that in mind. So then moreover, that of the conception of the true existence arises through the maturation of the beginningless, the predisposition for error, whereby all the living beings sees phenomena display as if they have an inherently established nature in the reality, right? So that means that kind of mistaken mind or self-grasping has been with us for all the time, okay? So the Toma Meban from the beginningless time. So that means that kind of mistaken mind is not actually arise after we exist or like after in between, somewhere in between. So that mistaken mind has been with us all the time. This is like kind of like innate kind of mistaken mind, sort of like inborn kind of mistaken mind, something like that. So it's with us forever. So that is, for that mind. So then when things appears, so they appears in a very artificial way.
Tatine di nyor dele chunyechi di nyor tanda tuya ngobu rumba tabnyani di tuyatira. De jang tatire sija tema digi deyang thoma mebe chube baja ongi chube baja ongi nimbe ongi chungari silaba imba denji di kindes chuwa ina thoma meba ne chube baja di yonsu mebe ongi chungari eche de jang sa denji de jang soja tamja la yangdaba ngobe danyi tabu nyaur thonga chigiri denji di ongi ane susu kyu tamja la ane 최담자라 시 덴바투바 마인장 덴바투바 더블 아니 여가 통바치기리 담보디 딘지디 주변 바자오노스 민베 우리 중앙에 있으시 디티셰스마 다음에 대장세 딘디디 가르치기를 했은 딘디디 소자 탐자라세데 수수기우 탐제라
So the moreover that conception of true existence all the way down to we just read there, right? All the way down to inherently established nature in the reality. Okay, so that actually explains how things being like obscure to our mind. Okay, so because of we have that predisposition mind. From the beginning, there's an error, that kind of error mind. So then we see things are, things. They're actually obscure to see the reality of the things. This is one characteristic of that conventional, right? Conventional. And then it continues, the second the thing. Therefore, all entities or the false things which exist through the power of those sentient beings, non-defective thoughts, that is to say, conceptual and non-conceptual. So, so the second actually describes this here. Maybe I already read that, I think. Whereby all sentient beings cease, maturation of the beginningless disposition. In English, I think it's going up and down, right? That's right. Okay, so the second one is because of we have this kind of long-term kind of mistaken predisposition, error mind, right? So then, this is actually all sentient beings, all sentient beings has that. Okay, this is one, right? All sentient beings has that. Because of that, then means, and they see the things are, true. The things are having sort of like having a self-existence, truly existence. Okay. So then they see, they sees the things are, truly existence. That means, like, in simple put, and if you put it in a simple way, because of that long-term kind of like this predisposition, mistaken mind. Yandaba Toa means like Yandaba Toa means they think they think truly exist. They see is like a truly, they see truly exist. Double means like they double means so tabu means like or similar or similar like something like that. They see things that like truly exist. That actually cuts off something. So that means if it says something is like that, this is not true. That means that also suggests this is not true.
Lord Chuve ongi temba tuba tabulu nawa remi shuji tuna temba mari ti member yesa te dagi sambe ongi shi jebe mungu tam zumba tamje nu kunjuk tu yibare temba yuba mari kunjuk tu yibare ono temba tuba nangi tuka se ti dingji tibi ongi temba tuba tabu nawa remi shuji tuna temba mari
So
kunjuk tu yisi.
So it said that there appears to normal sentient beings, what it describes someone who has that kind of predisposition, mental error, mind thing, right? All things that appears to them as true. Okay, so when it says that like true or as true, that means like they're saying they are not true, right? Even though they are not true, they see them as a true things, right? So then when you say that, so then they are not true. That means like ultimately they are not true. The conventionally on their mistaken mind is true. So that comes like conventional truth. And then when you say they're like true, they see as true, true. That means like that means ultimately they are not true. Right?
That is soja tamjela said. Jida soja tamjele mari sanjele nangi marba namba tuuna ani abatuni musundu tonye yamcha ishile nangi mari ne soso kiwa tamjela ta temba matumi narandu tabula yu temba matuba na yang temba tuba nangi yarba nawati karesine nandu pile tenji tiyo san tenji tiyo ongi nangi yaresiya.
So what is here says here's all living beings. Right? All living beings, same as in Tibetan, Sokcha Tamje, all living beings. So all living being means like but that is not true to Buddha. So Buddha don't see all object as fake or artificial. Okay, and also it's not true to the what you call this nyamsha means like this, someone who is in someone who's as an ordinary being, okay, ordinary being, so who's sentient being, so like sentient being seeing emptiness directly, someone who's in like a very deep the meditative kind of equipoise, so they don't see that. Okay, all things are as artificial means.
제사 다 냐와데 디체르 데다 산베 온기 샤베 모분 좀바 탐제니 군족도 이바코나리스 가레 군족도 이바코나리 가레스니 규제 디체르 세데 디체르 데다 산베 온기 샤세야디 디체르 세야디 공도 샤바디 템바바 두나야 딘지디 쿠나로 투베 온기다 투베 바자 연수미베 온기 중아레 딘지 되게 가르쳐 버렸으네 아니 소자 탐제라 템바트가 마이네야 템바트고 주바타고 녀와템바 템바 지기야리 통화도 지기야리 템바트고 통화 지기야리 이 인사 아니 대다가 삼배운 게 샤베 뭐부터게 군족도 예가래 군족도 예바래 미쇼 템바 말이 템바나 템바 메네 템바 주변는 게 누가 세는지 이 딘지 디기레베 온디나 샤바 잠리스 젠나 디 체르 데다가 삼배 온기 샤베 뭐부터 바탐진 군족도 예바 코나우스.
So then text goes on, therefore, right, therefore, so these artificial objects, right, artificial objects is just mere appear to these sentient beings, normal sentient beings, so they are artificially exist or they conventionally exist, but they're not in the reality or the ultimately exist. Okay? So they are conventionally exist to them because of their long-term kind of mistaken mental disposition.
다디리 디체 데다 삼배 온기 샤베 뭐부터 바탐진 군족도 예바 코나우스 대체 디니 시바 연제기 된담바라 심메바 나 된담바라 디니 시아디 디니 군족지 자디 신두가
This is 마페베.
떨리야 타게데 제바다부치 게바다부치 세르데데 디니 군족지 자디 신두가
This is 디바다고시 디바 디디 코나이 이군sub제 차대라.
디니 시바 연제디 된담바라 심메발라 심 된담바라 라시그 투바도 추데다스 아다 추데된 시기야 디니 시 군족지 자디 세송아 디니 시바 연제디 딘지디 아니 추시도 때문에 인거리 디 연체기 된담바라 심메발라 된담바를 여거를 추베 되노스 치 삼제 된담바를 네바 임발라 된담바를 주바디 딘지기 바자님베 온기 코티스 나와리스 딘지기 온기 디 나와리스 디 추베 된 시거리 디니 시바 연체디 디 시아데 그래서 뭐 야다바 뭐니 뭐 달아야 되는 도바 넘버 2도 추벨로 가인바 디니 세스도가 디 추지디 시버리 디 체디 디니 시바 인체디 추지디 시
인지디나 참마 티셔시 디르 시스가 투디시. Okay, so now look at the page number 92. Do you see the last paragraph? The mistaken awareness of super impulse and things. This is basically taken down from the quotation from the illumination of the middle way. Okay. So this I was looking for. This is in English. It's written down everything, right? All the way down to an aspect opposite of that. Okay. So it says refer to a consciousness that mistakes what does not ultimately exist inherently to exist ultimately. This actually show you like where is the quotation, what quotation is actually talking about, right? So it's making more clear in this text.
This one.
This one.
That kunzum ne chiru shebe bharatini yanda kunzum dance. Kunzum ne chiru shebe bharat.
Dini sheba yengi dentamba rangshi meba. A dentamba yoba chuba dembas. Dichik sunda di lao.
Dini said,
Dini said lao.
oh, that Dini said, Dini said,
Rangshi chuba di demba res lao.
Dini sheba yenchi, duen tambara shi mebala, duen tambara yoba. Yoba,
chuba.
Duen tamba yoba, trube, duen tamba yoba nawati, trube, trube is.
Okay, so that quotation is refers to a consciousness that mistakes what does not ultimately exist inherently to exist ultimately. Yes, that's right. The Tara ratio you do. The dictionary.
다 군좀 내체로 시에 바티 양다 군좀 between 양다 군 가르샤스네 딘지티 바. 다 군좀 내세디 군좀 내세디 아니 데니 양다 군좀 되시 세스마.
양다 보통 집어 So then it is called concealer because of it obscure to from it's from perception of suchness because it veils other awareness from anyway. So yandane kunzotus means this goes all the way down to opposite to that, right? Opposite to that. The is called concealer because of all the way to perception of suchness. Suchness, anyway,
Kula kundup sequoia di casene, Tibetabuji, Gevatabuji, Yanda Kundusi, Yanda Vetuala, Gevatabuji, Yanda Kundus,
So the anyway, second part of the quotation is talking about the Yangda Kunzup. Yangda Kunzup here they translate as the concealer of the reality, the concealer of the reality, right? The Yangda Kunzup di Denzirwa. So that is also refers to the self-grasping.
The Yanda Kundup Tembas, Lobe Kundup Tembas, Yanda Kundup Tembas, Shuliari, Dini Kagari, the Yanda Kundup Senute, Dini Yanda Kundup Duse, the Dinti Kuranshap. The Karate Yanda Batona, Tibetabuchu, Kundup Sea, the Tibji Cheswa, Karatiba Chigares in it, Tumi.
So here it says concealer of reality. So we call it concealer of reality means it actually obscures the ordinary mind to see the reality. That's what it's called concealer of the reality. And then later on you will find different terms like the Yangda Kunzup Shishanda de Karagin.
Kundup Yanda Kundup Tembasia Cheria, the Kundup Tembala in the knee said, Yanda Kundup Tembata,
so
Lobe Kundup Tembas near.
Yes. So I don't know how it goes in English in this text, but there are another terms like concealer. We often going to use concealer. It's as a mistaken concealer of reality, and then the conventional the concealer reality of the truth. So Demba, truth. So we're going to use different terms, right? So here this Yanda Kunzo, the concealer of the reality, in this text specifically refers to the self-grasping.
다디 군도치로 양다군 다디지 되니 추베잖아 군도네 치르시르 발디한테 다 집지라 전에 양다발 집어 집어오 다 군도 집지라 전에 양다발 집어 집어오 다 군도 세야디 군도 덴바시베 군도디 집지라 제버리 집지라 전에 양다발 야다발라 티바치스 야다바카라스는 tombañela 통하라 티바치바리 나티체
kunzup demba said, right?
군도 덴바시베 군도
Kunzup delas. So then we have conventional truth, right? Kunzup demba, conventional truth. So conventional truth means the, I don't know how to say it. Kunzup demba, conventional truth. Anyways, maybe it's
군도 덴바시베 군도티스
kunzup demba. So the conventional, they translate from like kunzup, I guess, right? Kunzup means kunzup means fake, artificial, not real. Okay, then not real or not real, right? Kunzup, and also that refers to obstacles. Kunzup, obstacles. So here, and could also refers to obstacle, means the kunzup demba or conventional truth. Conventional can be obstacles. That means like it obscure us to see the truth reality of the things. That means the emptiness. It's obscure and becomes like coming to the way. I mean the middle of the way. I mean like becomes obstacle to see the emptiness. That's what we call the conventional truth or kunzup demba.
다 군좀 집지라 전에 양다바 통하다 집에 집어오스 다 딘지 딜에 주의체 딘지 디 täm바리 여바 따르 녀라 täm바 통하네 또바인지 또매매 다 딘지 이게 딘지 딜에 주의체 디 녀라 통해 통해 먹은 좀 바탐전이 군도도 여바 코나고 세수마 어디 아니 디시 시기야. 와 집지를 군도도 제네 양다바 집어 덴지 딜에 주의시르스 덴지 딜에 주의시 덴지 디 덴바 요바 따르 녀르 덴바 통하니 또바인지 다 덴지 진에 소자 탐제라 뭐부터니 더 야다바 통하세요 지여봐 다 딜에 통역을 로딜이야 니 또바다 동인이 있으냐니 또바를 시작을 디 녀르 템바 토반 통안이 또바리스 소자 탐제라 이게 또 소자 탐제라 디 녀르 템바 통에 누군가 탐제니 우도가 코나이스 제스와 디 녀르 템바 통안이 소자 탐제라 디 녀르 템바 통하세요 지바 다 소자 탐제라 딘지 디기 녀르 때네 템바 두가 더블 나와지 nanggiri jebrewa ti ta lot ni yaris topa da tomi ni yari topa la sigiri mi shoji ki tomi la tendu na yamari jebre ta ti umarangi belula ba umarangi belula gacha temba onshila minache tesani tendu na ji lo te topa shawri tomi shan maris shigi.
Okay, so maybe let me try this in English. This is one of the important, that's why. So the since and article awareness in the continuum of the proponent of true existence arise from that conceptual of true existence, right? That which sees the display by the conceptual of true existence as if objects are truly established is a conceptual consciousness, not a sense consciousness. Okay, here. Okay, conceptual consciousness, not a sense consciousness. Okay. So here this is actually referring to the text earlier from Daily Techung. Since the artificial awareness of the continuum proponent, I think it refers to there. Okay, so this this is saying that a mind that has been mistakenly kind of see these objects and things, right? Things. So then that is actually something like object to be negated, sort of like gakja, right? Object to be negated. Basically we're describing, talking about like what kind of object needs to be negated. Yeah. So then when you describe that thing, so it says like all these things that were seized in that mind is the conventional truth, or something like the conventional concealer of the reality of the truth, right? So then there are two kinds of that. Okay, two kinds. One that actually sees through the consciousness, detect to the consciousness. Sort of another type of their things detect to their sense consciousness. So here, when we talk about object to be negated, object to be negated, this only refers to which they see through the consciousness, not the sense. Okay. So in this tradition, the Satrantika Madhyamika. So Madhyamika, they said all the object to be negated, okay, needs to be seen by consciousness, not the sensory consciousness. Okay. So they said the sensory consciousness, here's a sense, right? Sense consciousness. Sense consciousness do not see object of negation.
Di nyawa tamba tonga ni toba yinji tome ma yinsia di rangi bache. Ta tengi belu la toba to tome niga la susu kiwi kyuki toba to tome niga la dendru nangi yari. Denji ki leba shubi yari. Ta di rangi belu la denji ki leba shubi lo te la ni toba mi shochiki tome yamari. Ta di keba di.
So then if you put it in another word, it says that kind of mental, like the self-grasping attitude or the self-grasping view, according to Sautrantika Madhyamika, only affects mind, okay, not the sense consciousness, also consciousness, yeah? Not the sense consciousness. Yeah? But according to the Prasangika Madhyamika, so that can affect both. Okay, both the consciousness and the sense consciousness. So that means like a sense, the consciousness can see the truly existing of things, and also the sense consciousness can see sees sort of ordinary being. They see things are truly existence.
Dati kares tenju belule kares rangu ne tubati gajal kelim brava. Rangu ne tubati gajal ke nembe yesan. Ane rangi belule rangu ne tubati onshile nasi. Onsheti ranzena wala matrusi giri. Jesa ini aku rangu ne tubati rangi be gajal kelinge yana. Ta tengu be rangu ne tubati gajal kelinge yana. Yesana gaja tempat onshile nasi giri. Rangu ne tubati nangiri.
Okay, so they have that kind of different ideas because of their position on how they view, sort of like view, right? In the Prasangika Madhyamika, they said their object to be negated is like the Rangonutuba. Rangonutuba means self-existence or the truly existence, right? This is their object to be negated. That's why even all these objects or something that's see through the sense consciousness becomes object to be negated, or you can say the what you call the self-grasping, okay, self-grasping. But according to the Satrantika Madhyamika, so they said the icon, for instance, eye consciousness or the sense consciousness, they actually see things are truly existence. Okay, that is not truly existent, but that is not their object to be negated. That's why they said, so if according to them, if object to be negated, that needs to be only to the consciousness, mental consciousness. What it says here? Okay, conceptual consciousness. Then.
Only Yavashagi, and Amayu, not it. Tena Soja Tamjala, she mesos. Tene Tea Dentil Hingis Teno Tati Tati Chijila Dinji Dele June Dinji Di Demba Yuba Tar Nyora Demba Tony Toba Ingi Tome Mayingi Deniji Devali Gaja Demba Onshila Mena Shabati and Daviches Uma Denile Gaja Demba de Onshila Menasiati and in Deantras Umanavikusuya Gaja Demba Onshil Menavati and Deantawins Tati Nejujuba Umape and Drawings here.
So then this continues to the constitution, not sense conscious for Jnana Garbhas, auto, okay, commentary on distinguishing the two truth, explains the truth. Okay, that true existence, the object of negation, does not appear to sense consciousness, okay, and it is the same here in Yogacara Sautrantika Madhyamika school.
This way.
This one.
Deni Devara, Gaja Temba Onshila, Mina, Shaban, and Tavicha.
This indigenous separate t-shirt.
Taya ne, Junior Parini, Genji, Henki, Victorus. Taya says you got dirty.
Taya says what?
Taya sugar, Toma maybe. Dear, they're dirty.
Taya ne Junior Parkis. Taya Toma
Taya Toma maybe said to go. Tigi.
The only Junior
Dingy Hangis, Dingy Hangis, temperature. They are Junior Parky, Dingy Hangis, Denos. Now that Dingy Hangis temperature. Could Toma Mebane to be Paja maybe on Jumaraba. Dingy Hangis here. To their only tear to Tashabe, Toma Mebane Mayon Bache, tear to Benesem Zambe to tell you to do Zamba, Shedamje, Dambatuba is killing in Cherba. There is some Zambe to their only, and tear to Tashabe, Dingy. Toma Mebane, Judy Yombati Marva. What it is, Dingy Linkis,
So, and text goes on, moreover, that conceptual of the true existence arises to the maturation of the beginning. It should be, it should be mentioned earlier. This, so referring to a line that has been explained in this text. Okay, so this is mistaken. So anyway, so the conceptual consciousness, the non-conceptual consciousness falls. Anyway, so this commentary tried to reassure that, so what that actually meant. Again, same things he's saying. So Denzin Henge. So Denzin Henge means a self-grasping that has been, self-grasping, like innate self-grasping sometimes. So self-grasping that has been with you forever from the beginningless time, right? So there, self-grasping, some people they can develop self-grasping, so like a notion of self-grasping based on their education, based on their view. For instance, the minority school, so they have self-grasping, self-grasping. So they said all things are truly existence. So that is actually temporary. The notion of self-grasping said that is not actually have been with that kind of individual from the beginningless time. That actually arise in the middle, because due to their view or because of their position and their education. So that's why they arise that kind of wrong kind of the mistaken kind of view. So that's why it's called. This is also a type of self-grasping, but that is not innate kind of self-grasping because it has not been with them from the beginningless time.
Tena soja tamje le mesos. Ko tenji linge yesan soja tamje la se ati tiji umebri. Ani tenji kunda ine te lo kyual misho chigi 소자 탐제를 용기야 말이야. 그래서 그 된지는 게 인베에서 아니 이 소자 탐제가 대바주가도 녀월 통화주로 실례수나 이 소자 탐제세에 두들로 주어도 뭐 주어 탐제라 아니 대바주가 나와래 그 된지디 된지랭게 두들로 주어도 뭐 주어 탐제 줄이 샤주 된지 군다디 두들로 마주에 줄을 된지 군다 매서 두들로 주어 미쇼 대나세 나 소자 탐제를 매소세야디 된지랭게 인상 된지기 디녀를 템바스 통하는 소자 탐제가 디녀를 또 통하 시에서나 어디 된지랭게 인상에 소자 탐제가 그때 맞추고도 뭐냐 통하디 야리 시에 이 인다카레스는 된지 군다 이나 소자 탐제를 야말 그대로 교환을 미셔지고 그대로 맞추어라 된주도 나와 야말이
So that's why in this text it mentioned about this kind of misperception is covered to all living beings. All living being has that kind of misperception, innate kind of misperception. So then that is something that you do not, that individual, no one has to expose in any particular kind of school, and doesn't have to have like any education, sort of like any view, any position or anything. But that, and even though they don't, whether they have it or not, they always have the self-grasping thoughts. That's why it's called innate kind of self-grasping thought. It's been with us forever. And then another type of self-grasping is called, I think, acquired self-grasping, right? So the acquired self-grasping has to depend on some source. Like some has, it has to be effect, temporary kind of effect from another source. For instance, like relying on a particular text or view or any tradition. So that can affect you to develop that kind of acquired kind of self-grasping thoughts. So then when we talk about and here whatever it says like a self-grasping thought, self-grasping always refers to inner self-grasping thoughts, to eliminate that kind of self-grasping thought.
That denouncea did good. Congi Judentirba. Going to carries in a Chigeti, Denjilingi Stemberimba. Temba Insan and the Soja Tamjala said to Megaris, Crucial, the Soja Tamjala Slepsona. The Sequinda Ina, Soja Tamjala Yamaris.
So then also, when it's said that covers the entire living beings, right? Living beings, it should refers to, it's just like a reference to the text. What the text meant in that text, right? The text from the Kamala Shila text, right? So it has to be. It has to mean. I don't know. It's sure that it is referring to the innate kind of self-grasping. It's not referring to, that statement is not referring to acquire the self-grasping objective negative self-grasping. It has to refer to the innate, the self-grasping. Because it says it covers entire sentient beings.
That Dendilingi to Soja Dubur Tunjiliari, Romata, Jimmy Luda, Chicanis Soja Tamjil. Na signeti Kangalo Liari, Ma Dewa, Na signeti Na Siati, Dromaji, Ticula, Na Siatiari. Ni Diosani Kula Dewa Yuya, Dewa Dubiari, Ma Dewa Kud Dewaji, Na Siati, Ni 아니 그래서 그래. 대화 중이었던 아니 동해면도가 라 동해면도가 나시야 되기 이거지 난지되기 온게 다 간제 착신기야 다 간거여리 다디 소자 탐제라서 되기 무슨지 이제 나시지 딜행기지 Nanjil Hengi to Mishu Yamari. The Dinji Pundati, Karasan Tuta, Penasem Zambe Tutalishuni. Tutalishuba Gansaji Mishuji Yamari.
So that kind of innate self-grasping, all sentient being has that kind of innate self-grasping, and we can actually tell by observing on sentient beings. For instance, if you look at even the insects, ants, insects, they have that because they're constantly hunting for. There's like a feeling of self-centered or self, the self-important sort of like. So they have, because of the self-grasping thought, they'll have that kind of feeling towards themselves. Important, for themselves. They think they are very important for themselves, sort of like. So then, because of that, they are always hunting for happiness. Try to avoid from all these sufferings and stuff like that. So then if they have that, when they try to find happiness for themselves, so that also ensures that they will have the aversion or hatred because of that. So then all the other mental affliction is possible because of that, right? So then that for them, in order to have that, for insects, sort of like that, insects, in order to have that kind of self-grasping thought, they don't have to rely on any tenets or any views, So then they have that. So otherwise, there are some self-grasping that actually rise from their particular views. For instance, like this mind-only school. So they have self-grasping, something that they have created by themselves because of their view, because of their knowledge.
Tatine Soja Dita the Sambani Toba Kona Mingi Tomilaya Shabacham. The Soja Dita the Samba Umishabes, the Sheswan. Soja Dita the Samba Umishabes Mubutu, and then the Kunzu Tichi, Yuvakona was Sheswan Umanawde. The Soja Tamje said the Dog Samba Umishabes, the Dog Samba Umishabes, somebody Toba Kona Mari, Tomi Yari. 단지 출래로 강인바 대세 지도가 디녀를 때문에 통한 로세 통한 로세지바 되게 또버코나 미슈지 도매야 말이죠. 다 소자 대다게 300원 샵에서야지 300원 샵에서 삼바들 또버터 도미니가 야리 시야리 소자 디녀를 때문에 통한 거 좀 봐서야지 디녀를 때문에 통해서야지 로티라 니 된지기 레베스 로티라스 되게 또버미슈 도매야 말이죠. 다 단대디 소자 대다게 삼바서야지 대다게 300원 샵에서야지 삼바들 또버터 도미니가 야리죠.
So then it goes on more clarification on that, the quotation from the Kamala Shila's illumination or middleware, right? So, and the first statement, the half part of the statement, it said that because of all the sentient beings' unmistaken mind, so then things appears to them as a true, right? This is true. That is refers to mind. What is it? Mind consciousness, conceptual consciousness. Here it says conceptual consciousness. Okay. So then the text goes on. At the end, it said that that kind of mind covered two entire sentient beings, right? So in that section, there are two types of mindsets of mind. One it could be conceptual consciousness. Another it could be sense consciousness. Okay, sense consciousness. This is one clarification.
That Sojati Dagi Samba Ungishabe, somebody that and ye Kunzu to shebe, dear Rojo, that and then the girls on Chetan the Kunzu to the shebe. The Dagi Samba Ungi says to my Lu Ungi Shil to the shebe. Lu Ungi Shil to the most shade, Lu Ungi by Shabati, and Gajali Shabimba. Soja Dagi Samba said, Samba Ungi Shas, Sima, Lu Ungi Shas, Le Ungi Shas. 유베로 르르옹 샤스가 로텔라 토바타 도미니가 야리스 베나 붐바티 붐지 미시고 운기 샤그레 니네 붐바오 냠다 토바티 운기 샤그야리 다 붐바 조지기 로텔라 데네 다 온실레 베나 타파당 아 지야르바 자주그 셈세야데 조지기 로투스다 도술라 toba misho chigi tome yamare onshi yamare onshi ki janju bisemda jambata inji tusu yute chigi maraba tana sugda dhada ti tusula sug joji tila mishi yari dha joji tila nae sheba yari ti joji tila nae sheba yari tine toba yari toba ta tome niga yari 다 딜레 심바도수 도박이 시합이 온식이 마샤버티야 온식이 유도 마이크베 취야르바 무슨 온식이 시합 말바 어째서니 그 소자 대다가 상병이 시합에 상바데 도바다 돈이 니가 야리스
근데 각종 문제 시간에 간대
가정
공적 요소의 시행상
단도스 소자 대다가 상병이 시합 디가스 되는 마 오만나와듯이 상배운 것이 주시해요. 된지 되게 코렐레브레 텔레테네 아니 소자 탐자가 뭐 나와래 진짜 아니 소자 대다가 상배운 것이 샤베스 시에서만 소자 대다가 상배운 것이 샤베스 들려 온 것이 주시해요. 되는 가제 템버트버트 템버트도 시에서도 뭐 시에만 소만 나와요. 르옹 것이 주도 뭐 시에 다 르옹게 마셔베 유버티 가제 인버티 다 하고 그래서 르옹지 셔주디 아부셔서는 르옹게 마셔베 유버티는 가자시 된거 것도 그래야지
롱이 마셔베 취어도 샤오라다
르옹 마셔베 유버티 예스는 가제리 메시지 르옹이 마셔베 취야 말바
So then, if you look at this text from the Kamala Shilas, it didn't mention about how the object that needs to be negated. Right? It never talks about how actually things exist in a conventional way and how sentient beings they perceive things, and then because of that, that becomes fake, artificial. That's why it's conventional things. They talk about that. Right? So then, when he said that all the things, right? Here it says that all the things are merely exist because there are some perceptions. There's some seeing that object. When you said that, so then then when you describe that in a conventional way, right? So there's a mind that sees that object. Because of that, then we need to say this is conventionally exist because of mistaken mind, right? When you said that, at the same time, it also suggests, that also shows, indirectly, sort of indirectly tells you what is actual object to be negated. So that means like if something is not, the established or not exist in mind, okay, so that will be object to be negated, right? Okay, right? If something is not established by mind or not seized by mind and something exists, right? So then that will be object to be negated according to this school. Okay. So then the message goes on, like it says so mama what you so not the jet is some not kunzo the mama what you so that the kunzo yume ma jet de mango chi
kunzo de soja de da sambe ungi sha
de de
kunzo de ba wo xie mi ba
de me ba de de che
de
xia ba me ba de de dong zhe ma xia ba de
xie ju de xie ye ni xie ju xie ni ga jia de
mon ji xie
de lo jo de 르옹 그 마셔비 이것도 가져 있는 거라. 그 하고 그 아이. 세상에 가져 두면 시험 맞으면 Dinama Shaya the Leung Sha to the ship. Teach it to go to the ship. Leung Shab. You to the shady. Leung Mashabi, but the Gajati. Then you go to a that is a woman.
The member mango shinda sums hare mango sums that the dish has in this alone. So the so again same thing. So here is said so all things are appears to ordinary minds. That's why we have to say this is conventional exists. Then opposite of that will be object of negation, because if there's something that exists, it's not comprehended by a mind, that will be object of negated. Okay, object of negated. So let me check same thing go over.
That is shared it. So we train them to the Topata Tominigair, Penas Sugi Kejete, Mishigi Sunja Sugi Kejerva. The only Shabi Shagu to Nisigi Sunjatilla, Sugi Kejes. Nashigi Ninjatilla, Tai Kejes. The Nashigi Tai Kejeti, Naishiva, then Shagu to Ani Naishiva, Titi, Nashigi, Jatilla, Jisi, Jeshigi, no Jatilla, Rosigi, Jushigi, Jatilla, Ni Jessica, Tusukanga, Umashigi, Unkishasuna, just a Tomi at the Sojati, that somebody Toba Kona Mari, Tomi Yari,
The Kunzu Lula di Miwan Shaban is zero. Top of Shaban
Mari, Mishita, Miwakari,
Mishiti Shabarwa.
Mishis here.
Topa, Topa, Top.
Toba Senator Mishite, Mishiga Suji Tonsona, teaches Pigga Suji to somebody logic to Toba Kiari. Tambos
Topa de
Mishiga
Suji, Yishin, Topa in Yishin.
Toba Siati. To Niggas, Mishiga Su Tons, Tonde, the shoot the tensions here. So Tibet, the biggest switch to somebody Javina, the Ishi, Topari. Only shaking the
Mishi Topamaro, Mishi Topamaro.
Don't make sure.
So and also in this the text it said that so the all the things are comprehended by mind, right? Mind, and there are two kinds of mind again. Mind or consciousness. Here it says consciousness, right? So then the comprehended by the conceptual consciousness and the sensory consciousness. Sensory consciousness is like, let's say the, for instance, there are 5 of them, form and so on, right? So that so they have formed has both, like they can actually seen by, comprehended by sense consciousness, and also spiritual, conceptual consciousness. And there are some object or some things they cannot actually comprehended by the sense consciousness. For instance, bodhicitta, love, and compassion. These are only for conceptual consciousness and consciousness, also consciousness. Yeah. So, in Tibetan, it is using like a tokpa, the tokme. Okay, tokpa, the tokme. So all the sensory, like a sense consciousness are tokme. They are tokme, and then the conceptual consciousness. The consciousness is tokpa, okay, tokpa. So tokpa, right? Tokpa is always tokpa. I think they normally translate it as conceptual mind, something like that, conceptual mind. So, but I don't know how it works with English, but anyway, so all these sensory consciousness are not tokpa. That means like they are not conceptual.
No, that is so jati dagi samba toba kone tomila jati tingi ongi yobar shabe shagi tuentamba yobar mebe ngobu nam kunzuba kona ino ta tingi ongi shabe toba da tomili ongi shabe shabe tamba ongi yobar shaji ta chu tamje toba da domi sambadi ongi shagris shagi yobar shagi tamba yuba membes tamba yuba maris tamba yuba maris je yuba membe ngobun zumba tamjeni kunjubdo yuba kunaus ta ngobun zumba tamjeni kunjubdo yuba kunaris
So then,
kuna yuba ni nganam kyawa kunjubdo tambe tumbrashi me nganam kyawa kunjubdo dotigi tundati shasuna nganam kyawa kunjubdo ngobu tamje kunjubdo yuba res shebre Dia tinggi kunjung tu yuba tu menos tinggi ki kunjung tu yuba tu maris tinggi ingat jeru.
So now text goes on explains the meaning of the sutra, the quotation from the sutra, and then the sutra, right? So so the things, okay, things they are true or real to that kind of mistaken mind, okay, mistaken mind, and that means that they are exist to the mistaken mind or the predisposition kind of error mind exists to them, but in reality they are not true, okay, they are not true. So then Rashi oh yeah, so when it says it's true to the mistaken mind or the predisposition error mind, that means there are two kinds. Two kinds. One is the conceptual mind, and there was the conceptual consciousness, and the another one is the sense consciousness. Yes.
Tadi rangi be gacha di she suwa. Ta gachi rangi be gacha di kari shebe resene. Di gapsu luyongi shadu di sheba ayi. Luyongi shadu di she indu zamba. Luy ma shabe yuba di gacha di rangi be lula. Luyongi ma shabe yuba di gacha di.
So then now one thing you should make sure that how they define the object to be negated in this tradition, the Sautrantika Madhyamika. So since they said all the things are imputed, merely imputation of their mind, right? So then if something exists, is not comprehended by mind, that object will be the object to be negated.
That is that ne rangi belula ta rangi belula le onge masha be yubati gacha yin le onge shabala le onge masha be yubati gacha yin ani rangune tugati gacha resene maris gere le onge shabata yujumene nizo shagiyare leongi shakatang yuji mene tuka nyezo chishagiyare. Taya leongi shakatang yuji mene tuka nyezo chikuwa yinsani leongi mashabe yubati ngacharare. Yuba yina leongi shabu kukiyaresi, ukasa shabu kukiyaresi. Leongi mashabe yubachi yina ngacharesi gare. Tadi sesuna ane ona rangune tubati gajari vesena ti mare je leong ki shabata yuju mane nizo ji tubati chu gande ji ne yuju mane tubata leong ki shaba nizo ji kuyeres ta tengyu be leong ki shaba mishu yu mane tubati meba yimba ta ranju be lula chu gande ji ne leong ki pa shabata yuju mane.
So then, according to Sautrantic Madhyamika, right? So then the object to be negation will be like something exists, but not apprehended by mind. Right? That will be exact. But what about do they can accept the truly existent, the Rangwani Duba is truly existent as object to be negated, but they cannot, because according to them, so if something exists, it should be mutual kind of operation, mind and the objective. Okay, so that means like something has to be from the objective side, and the mind project on that. So then that object becomes, existent, right? Existent. So because of that, so that they cannot actually accept or agree with the being truly exist, truly existent. Like self-existent would be self-existent as object to be negated, because they have something from the external side, right? And then this is very suitable for the prasangika madhyamika, so then they think like they said there's nothing from the objective side, right? It's nothing. So then they can say like, if something is truly exists, there will be the object to be negated.
That you do when to be good secret. Dishi maybe a sajona, and it dishitana to know the Yamari. Dishitana to know never the caressina. You do when it now go here. Division mess and it, any dishitana to know Loti. Yeah, marriage. Division never. The ship division made a sajona, division tana to Nalokia vicinity Yamaris. Caresina, division Yamarvas. Just a huge man, you division maybe your son. The tana to Nalo, one shitty just say Yamarich. Just a huge man to a tongue. Long Shabanito Kodos. The Masha, Nito Mugana Lokra, so Gane, Shabaji, Jugina, Dushi made a sajon at the Shitana to know what she gets, what Shachu is.
So now they use to support their view, and the Satantika Madhyamika, their view. They gave an example of like illusion stuff, illusion, the magician and the illusion. They said the illusion, the magician use a piece of wood, right, and spell on it and put some mantra on it, and then the audience, they see an object, but the audience, literally all the audience are actually looking at that piece of wood, but they see other stuff other than the wood, like people or elephant or anything, right? But they're looking at that object, the wood. So it's similar like that. So then if there's nothing from the outer side, something substantial quality from the other side, outside, externally, but they cannot actually project things on that thing. They said that because they give their kind of analogous kind of idea to prove to support their view. And they said if it's not the case, if they don't need that piece of wood to create that kind of elephant in front of this audience, so then they should be able to see an elephant if there's no piece of wood, there's no bed without basis. They should be able to see an illusion kind of illusory elephant, illusory elephant. But that is not the case. They cannot see an illusory elephant without having that basis.
That is any. Rajugalola that Mundu Kangalola Tinti Yari Mahasia Diarva, Mahasia Diari, Manti Yari, the only Chatan Kigri Sierva. This Soja to good Sunjeli, Nasing it to Yusan and Jari Jayata, G, Karine Yungierva, the Yatiku, Nasibe Manti Yarva, Manti Yusan. Chadangi at the Ganga, Yati, Nantius and Jebris, Jebrava. That did it. Then Sug nowadays, any Gajatemba Unshilin and Marichebrava. The Messaneta, Sug nowadays, sugi dunga nangirba onshila onshila nangirba dinna le tene ni chadan dingirba ta chadan deya dikandis jade onshitile temba nangi yamarba kacha nangi yamarba temba nangi yamare de onshi digi yani su 유튜브에 따라라 되니 차단 진도가 이 차단 돼야 될 컨디션에서는
That's okay. Naramichi has a question for you. So the what you call this the Satantika Madhyamika, according to their view, right? They said all the sentient being has self-grasping, and they have, because of that, they develop attachment and aversion and so on, right? They made that kind of statement. Okay. So then, if they said that, so then another word they said the object to be negated only appears to the mind consciousness, right? It's clear, right? Mind consciousness, not to the sense consciousness, sensory consciousness, right? So now, how you say, like, when we look at a beautiful object, this is actually an object, right? Looking at a beautiful object. So when you see that object, that actually it actually forces you to develop some attachment. So then how that can actually affect, because eye consciousness doesn't see any object to be negated, right? Self-grasping, the seeing in a self-grasping entity or anything. So then how that actually a beautiful object affects their mind to arise the attachment.
다 tenjubaina sudina into some su yidua na into ramana to be su yidua chinandirva. Ina into somebody chatan to yidua. Who temba to be su ramana to be su yidua china. Dilane ni chate kigirva. Tata ranjubaina su yidua onshitila gajinangi yamarva. Rangun tuba nangi yarite, rangun tubati gaja marba. Chesane, ta chatan deyati tembar shene tembai. Chatan deyati suti tembar shene tiki gerba karsa chatan tembai. Vadi insantini moshi tele tumba tuba manavche. ता उनसे जुते मता तो जिजे की के पास ना छातां की के पास.
So according to the Prasangika Madhyamika, so it won't be any problem, because they said your eye consciousness can actually detect the object to be negated, right? So then all the problem can arise from that. That's fine. But the Satantika Madhyamika, right? Madhyamika, they said the sensory consciousness, they see things are truly exist. I mean, like for the sensory kind of conscious in terms of sense consciousness, they see things are truly exist, but that is not the object to be negated to the consciousness, right? Sense consciousness. So then let's say, like, we can say, like, so when they see an object, right, beautiful object, and then at that moment, at the second moment, you can say second moment, that turns into, then the mind kind of like our consciousness takes on and think like, have belief that object is, the object sees that object as object to be negated. What if you said that? Then
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, that is Tibetan did.
okay, now question.
If you have the mind consciousness and the sense consciousness, when you go through the dissolutions, you have the 84,000 delusions, and you have the 4 and 4 diseases. And to my mind, that would be my explanation, because they're both empty. But
Both which disease and the mind?
They're ignorant,
Okay.
taken as base. So if you go through the solutions, you have 84,000 solutions, then you can put that in the mind, because that goes here,
Yes.
and then that goes there.
Okay.
So together they are happy. Once they see that,
Okay.
once they have learned, once they have unlearned, once they have the mandala, then you can work with that.
Yes.
And if something is sticking out, then you work on that.
So, the Tiva and the Tapina. Anjole Nemo, the Geja Hazurici Yores, Geti Hazurici Yores, Adi Poraya, Zaumena Layalu, Takon the Dishi has Durimki Kola, Durimki Hatuzamaya, and Maya Reja, due to Yores, and the Pajusho Dilaya, and also Hasam Diores has the Karsa, the Kingor Bombores, and Tivamoni Hapamos, the Kingor Bombores. 아니 데니 수용 제야 신다도 칼라래 아니 아니 간절디 가서디 칼로다 단지 여러 단지 행게 데데 요레스 타게야는 또 그런 무슨 남랜드 간데 치워레스 서로 시기 인서다
아들이 나는 집에 있는 때지 룽티 나는 제네들 아니 남도 신벨 룽시야지 남도 신벨 룽티 로장 자 로마타 장만이기나네 남도 신벨 룽티 주야래 그 로장이네 주에 남도 신벨 룽티 주 우메 자 우메나 주팀 팀스나 팀 주디 좀봐 이 남도 비신 벨룬티 팀 주디 남도 팀 주야 남도 대 가도 아니 티네 우메나도 티네 가르수리 아니 남도 두스간가 시아발루고 알아지 이게 파티미 인도 좀 봐. 아니 뭐네 실의 유인력이 시아바 참어디 양문도 주는 거지. 어디 주인도 좀 봤더니 아니 남도 되게 가두게 해라. 근데 된지에 가두게 해야 돼. 된지 쓰고르네. 거기야. 어디 뒤에 나를 다시 din내지를 봐.
So in the tantric practice, so they have a very unique method to overcome our self-grasping thoughts. So if you are talking about in tantric practice, that is like the practicing this practice is called wind yoga, energy yoga or wind yoga. So what happens is like we have two side channels and the center channels, and the two side channels, wind that flows actually carries all of our the mental emotion and all these things, right? All the mental afflictions. So once you're able to control your wind and enters into the central channels, so then this wind normally carries all these mental afflictions will not flow, so they will not become inactive inside the central channel. Once you're able to dominate them and control them, so then your subtle mind consciousness will become more evident, and then when it arises, so then you don't have any conceptual perception at that moment, so everything will be ceased. So then this is one way to see emptiness.
단 돌로로 얘네들 말이 유크랑 그 내주디 neju kari imba haku, neju yapu chaku suna, ani yukula chashin do to be. Yuku neju de pena, Pumba neju de Pumba ani karasubi. Neju tardu de Pumba rashi mevati. Pumba rashi mevati, that Pumba neju Pumba de Pumba metabari, Pumba neju tarama buyare. Pataru Taruchina, Pumba rashi mevati, Pumba neju tardu. The how could Chesuna and Pumbala may be charging the door to bear. Pumbala may be dingy door to bear. Dando Pumbala may be dingy the Mando at the Karasini, you can net to the Abushim Mare. Then the Yesuna Jalo Zuma of Chesuna, Jalo Zuma the net to the Abu Machina. Jalo Dunzine, Chashin Kigrava. Jalo Zumati, any Zuma Imbati, Yapakosuna, and you call up maybe Chashin Kigmara, who gazette unity. Till Chashin to Lord Zumi Mambo Chuyasune, till Chashin the Taga Doduba, the pen thought of Jim, Metadaya of Jimmy Shuji. 아니 그 펜도 매버지 남상하고 그러봐. 지난 시리 나는 응어부 내주 야부치 한마고 제 내주 응어부 내주 야부치 하고서는 뭐 써야 되는 좀 버럽지. 능주 가가지나 내주디 가가지 내디. 내주 야부치 있습니다. 예, 그래 자신지야 매버럽지. 내주 마시는 나인도 좀 차신지하고 뭐부터 가리는 편에 유되는 주 지기 가르치는 제주 지규 버럽지다 가르치는 지규 버럽지는 게 알아 봐 어떻게 인사다 나는 도루를 전에 뭐부터 장신디 타도디 제주제 이 제주제는 뒤라는 시대 공 아니 뭐부터 대지도 도구야 이모도 콜라 요모께야 뭐부터는 매 요모께야지 뭐부터 내주대 차식하고 시에서나 아니 뭐부터는 매 차단할 수밖에 없기야 되네 어디디 산도루를 되지 뭐부터 내주 타도 되지 뒤를 되는 도구야.
So then in the Sutrayana, we use different methods to have same result, to overcome our self-grasping mind, right? So in the Sutrayana, we use a method is something like we analyze on an object and try to find out the real quality of that object, and then we make a decision, or we decide after that whether it's like worthwhile to get attached to that object, or as there's another way of that, way to deal with that kind of object. This is all actually the practice, the thing in Sutrayana. So that's why. So then we get attachment towards objects and things, and those we have like a lot of based on these objects. So that's why we need to look at the object, whether they are really, it's true or real. There's something that appears to me. Something is this really valid or true? So you analyze that. So then when you analyze, you can find them. So that you can find them. Then you at the end you feel like it's worthless. There's nothing to be attached to them, like anger or all this emotion. You put like a lot of effort to, to on that object to gain something from them. So then there's no worth it for that. So you realize that when you see the actual reality of the thing, how the things really exist, they are totally different than how we think, how we see them. So then all of your emotion and everything will be diminished, it will disappears. For instance, let's say like if someone, this is why we are judging on the value of the object. So then you see this is it's not value for you, then you can reject, you can just to write out sort of like that. We do that. Right? For instance, for instance, if someone gives you $100 bill, right? So then you'll be you'll be really happy. Of course, you'll be really happy, and you really make like a lot of plan on that, and you have this strong kind of emotion towards that, stuff like that, right? And then later on, if you find that was fake, so then all of this will diminish. Then you got a fake dollar bill from somebody that will tell you. Then all of this emotion will disappear. Similar like that. And also, like so if you have if you understand that, if you understand about the value of that dollar bill, fake dollar bill, so you lose that. Then let's say like if you have that bill for like thousands of them, and fill in entire your house, you will not have any attachment or at all, because you know the value of the thing. So there's no any emotion towards that object. Similar like that, what we are doing here. So we try to find the value of that object, whether this wanted to be like attached or keep close to you. So then once we realize there's no value in it, so then we don't get any attachment or anything. This is how we use method in Sutrayama.
Tene loro jumatida loro ngone nibati mingta shabu mingtam jing mishu che kebatan me loro jumati shugutiri shuguti tele mazar hija tele ya jumati loro ngone ti jalo ngone ti shuguchi che ti gala rimochi che tele tene ni shima ti jalo yis chene ta mingji ta barwa mingta be samla ji shene ti cheba mishu ji pha ji bin kebatan me ta ji butle lora ngona mingta ta bare chubutel mingdi me bare yesane ni juma sigero a chubuti ta lora ngone ti lora jumate ta chipa kula loro ngune ki jalo mingdi ta ya mari ji kyab chani timna sho chi mingzam ji ta me bare mi shu ji bare chirba phangune chi se shu ji ji bare chirba.
So and if you go into like a deeper sense, so then again if you look at two different the $100 bills, right, bills, so the one tend to be like a fake or another one is real, right? So of course we have like a different kind of relation, feeling towards these two different bills, right? So then if you go in the deeper sense, so these two are in reality same. There's nothing different in these two bills, right? So the only difference is like how we label them, how we think, universally or like a personality, whatever. So how we think about it. So let's say $1 has the same print, like the same paper, and one tend to be like fake, another is like real, right? So this is only like we value the other one because how we label on it, sort of how we identify the object as. So let's say like we shift that idea towards take that out, that label, the dollar bill, real dollar bill, right? We take that label and put it on the fake one. That the fake one start to function the same thing. The other one, it used to be. This fake one is not actually useful in the initial time like before, because we didn't put the label on it. So we should take the label from the other one and put it on that. So that will begin to operate or function in similar the other way, other bill, the other bill. That's why it says all things are actually label. If you take out the label on the real bill, so that will stop functioning in that way. So we have taken out the label on the real bill. That's why it stops functioning in that way. So that's why everything is on level. So on the basis of the level, and we actually operate things in a certain way.
That is lora ngone ti mingzam rba mingchen ta ti se ta lora tinde so tinde ta ninga tile ta jalo sigris je ming ta bare ming ta ne te ta ko mingzam ta bara mi shu ji gi pha ta gi ne ta shubujer muje to suji bare chiare ta di mingzam la jasa che tan de mingzam se ya ti ning ta ba tine ko loring mene che di ma je lor zu me de le zu me de ngone su bi ne ta ti lor ti ta ti ji ne ta ti zu me ti ji xian da ji su ne de ming da su ne yang lor 주고 되게 팬부터 재송아 민디 신다 질다 다디 자가 너를 마부지 인거 되게 나서송아 다 민디 파지 신다 질 포도자는 거기 팬부터래 줘라 간제 민정들이 최탐제 제전에 주고 되게 민디 다 주고 되 dependatories that dile lore dile chanjo chigmare selected but ta ko chumare suma ko pemtore suma ning dige jebro ni gyujati ngama ta ka de de ra gyuje koran ngene jalo tuwe ina ko gyuje ta ge mare ming dile gyuje ta ge ra 민정 인상 발도
So that's why this says all things are nominally exist. So because, for instance, look at the bills, the money currency. So when it go to like printing machine, and so then we don't value them as money. So then they officially, when they make announcements, so then then as money, so then start functioning in a particular way, and as the money, so then we have a value on that, right? So then let's say like after a while, so they print another bills, and they say like we will devalue the previous one, so then it will lose that the identification or that kind of function that has been on that bill, right? It happened in India, so again. So everything is so that if you look at the quality of that bills, like the previous bill and the later bill, so that bill, the previous bill has been like a devalued. So if you look at them, the same paper, same quality, it came from the same machine and stuff like that, right? But if you take out that level on that, the true real bill, so then it loses all the functions. So then you put that on the new bill. The function that level of Newton bill, the new bill began to function in that way. So that's why every phenomenon, everything, if you look from the deeper sense, it's very similar like that. Everything is just functioning on our on the nominal way and the nominal sense.
제가 최탐제 민점세들이 민점들이 너희들이 민점들이 시에네 아니 자신지게 알아. 띵 하마고로 민점디 인주디 하마고제 아니 뒤지게 봐 어디에서 최근에도 하마고제 되는 그냥 다른 주마경기 의미 수제부지 땜바이나 그 내주 마신에 되게 다 자신지게야 다 되게 내주지 그 주인에게 김학현이 큰일도 하고 강력하고 왜 주민인데 하고 봐서 아니 자신기게야 말이야 그 주의샤바 있어 뉴신들 때문에 주민수 주변이 생겨봐 그래 주민수 수수는 그랬지 아니 나는야 자신기게야 말이야 그 내주 하고 왜 그 나랑도 다들이 우리 내주지 하마고 전에 다 자식이야 돼. 제사 우리 내주 그래 제주 야부 제니 아니 제야디 니 내주 터도 하고서나 아니 녀문보다 띵지다 차단의 수비기야 매그래. 제사디 자시 터도 동반이라 봐. 어디 동반이 제주 동반이 인단데 제주지 신기 매단데 제주지야디 다디 유문바 탐제 단데디 덴바송니 기기야 지 뭐그 코네 뭐 그런 그 뭐네 치유가 지나 Dembachina. Or the Disan, the Tati Manandu Paja Shatu, Chutanja Rashiki to Batan Mess, Gajit Nasuni, Rashiki to Bane, Tian Jumbai, Tian Rashiki Mess, some Tinachi Shakui, Janku, Chutanja Rashiki to Batan Me, you do minute to Batan Me. Tachi 9 Nandu, the Dembama is. Tian Timberman, some of Chigina, but those like you, Namju Jandu, in this John, and it's a Juji at the chair. But I think the men, some of the Taji chair. The name moved to Nangiva, Penetu Yovajananga, Tian Timberman, some sort of Javina. The Chashinkiala. Nigeria, Pendoing, and to Dandati. She never knew somebody to touch it. I didn't put it to Penetu Nangriva, and the Kangulana Penetu, but in Nanguba. Dear Timberman, somebody, Jevina. Penetu, the Yovajananga, Penetu, Drubaji, Mansig. Oh, that dear Timberman, somebody, Jevina. Any dead part-time, reality.
So then, since all the things are exist in a nominal, sense, nominal way, so without knowing that, we as an ordinary being, unmistakenly, unknowingly, so we kind of running after that, and then we develop all kinds of problems in our life. So then we craving to that object, something that doesn't have any value, just a name or just nominal or name level. So then we run after it. So we get all these problems in life. So that's why. So as for instance, similar like an example is like the musician creates a beautiful person. So when we look at that, so we develop attachment. And as a musician, when he look at that object, so that musician will not rise any attachment towards that, because he knows that the musician knows that that is not real, it's fake. Actually, it's just a piece of wood, right? So they don't get attachment or anything. Similar like that. So if you know that everything is just my mental projection, so projection, and it exists in a nominal way. So then you will not get an attachment. So then in order to put them in practice, so then first of all you need to make a very strong kind of determination. So as you said, like things are, whether I understood or not, so things that do not actually exist the way in which I see them. So you have to think that first. And also think that these whatever appears to me, these are actually due to my misperception. So that's why it's these are actually playing in front of my eyes. You think that, and then in reality they are not. It's not like that, and this is just happening on like in a nominal sense or nominal way or something like that. Nominal, just near nominal, right? So then. So if you think that, so then if something happens to you, so then if you apply that, so then essentially they are just fake, nothing. It could be like it seems like a problem or anything. So then deep down in your mind you can think of this will go away, and this is not true. It's just appearing to me, something like that. So this is not true. You can think about it. And at the same time, so you should try to get deep understanding on that. So relying on these resources, these teachings and stuff like that. So initially you should decide. You should make a mind and understand that, even though they appears to me as all these things, but in reality they are not true. So this is definite, but I'm not able to see them yet. But but in reality they are not true. So then. So you keep that in mind, so then do all the other work, so then it will get there.
Well, question. Like Rinpoche's example of the money, like the currency, is clearly true, right? Nobody can, like, if you think about it, then clearly that's correct. But it looks like when Rinpoche was saying, like, oh, it has like the same paper, the same print. It looks like when I think of that example, it seems easy to understand that one in the context of the Svatantrika school. Like there's something coming from the side of the object, some paper, then my mind is projecting, oh, this has value, this doesn't have value, then I want this, I don't want that. So it looks like then it's like relational. There's something from the side of the object, something from the side of the subject, and then it's, but it seems similar, so it's easy to understand that one if you think of it from the Svatantrika perspective. It's difficult to understand that one if you try to understand it from the Prasangika perspective. There's nothing from the side of the object.
On the money, right?
On the money, exactly.
Calling tanda di zimai ba ngune ba de ta che chen ging ma uch sung ra di ma. De du khol samla dus ta tang de zamba la ya de tanda samla tang dan di tanda oma rang ju ba gi samla tang da tang da de gi be so ra dus. Hai sa nam de phaji chen chi ye be so ra de ya khol ya rin da ye ne da pe par de ba de shu bu yin ba de le pha ju ta che chi ba yin ba de ta li sher wa. Pe de bo re stu de ka so tenju be lo ni ma ta dang de te kale kha ga ra chi du si wo.
tenjubalone tadante te ko narando nai te jamba nang su te le te nai te te pe su yoji shugura ji te ti nechi kore sugure pinechi yoba tenjubalone te ne pinechi yoba rachi 이동하랍디니 펜데츠 요바 달라 로르디 펜데츠 요바를 지는 게 여러분 이 말에 그 민답에 답은 파스위샤브리 미슈지기 펜데츠 레베이나니 그 미마다는 디게 여러분 그 펜데츠 요자라 잘로디 펜데츠 아 줍샤베이는 민답고 민두가 디 잘로디 가르스 민답에 온그 파사 샤브리 민마다 근도 잘로 민두가 아리기 디 가르스 그래 아리기 신지티 민마다 근 민두가 왜쇼 뒤 강가 뭐부지 제 차리리티 민티마다 봐도 그 신지리 민두가 쇼 뒤 강가 제찬이 더 의미를 지어 줘도 그 자자들이 망에 지켜내야 민 보장디나를 치니 네 대구르데 제가 맞에 봐도 그 신들이 있는데가 대구티 제주 좀 같은 그 뒤에 신들이 있으나 뒤 민데 따버 어디를 봐
So the from the Prasangika view, it says everything is just merely level, right? Level is just level. So that's if you look at a bill, like $100 bill. So if that is not level, just merely level. So that $100 bill has been $100 bill for forever. You don't need to project on them. You don't need a mind to make that bill, $100 bill. Okay, and even though if you take out the value, it should remain as a $100 bill forever. So it's not the case. So you project them, you think, and you make that the $100 bill, and there's mind that make it. Then $100 bill come to exist. Okay, I don't know, and exists, right? So then similar to, like, let me just give an example of the president of the United States. So for instance, when they go to like camping or anything, that we don't call that individual as the president, right? So then even though they won the vote on the elections, but still we don't call them as a president. So after that, go to like what you call this inauguration ceremony, right? So then he becomes the president, right? Then we have president. So before that, we don't have president. So we just put a name on it. So then we have a president here. So then he finishes his term. Then we don't have it. Everything is just merely level. So
shima kumi the party shidal person that kulacha kusindilach.
So if you take one name from the another person to another, put it on the another person, so then that person is not president anymore.
Yeah. That Jyoti Shula Tasha.
Okay, we can have class the evening the afternoon session.
That's
사시 베개 조심해도 참